Rancor's Brothel presents The Big Sleep. A Cthulhu Mythos 5e adventure.
It's a 23 mile, well, it's 23 miles straight to Geltoni's. Either way, in a coach, it's basically 4 miles an hour. Is that right? Yeah, 4 miles an hour because it moves at a fast pace.
And going by these lines, it would be quicker just to cut through the land.
It's entirely up to you.
But, like, the river is... One would think the river is faster, but... Well, let's just go to the next place and see what bullshit we get into and how we set that place on fire and decide which way to go from there.
We have not torched this village yet. So, I think we're doing pretty good, all considered.
You turn and look at Cyrus, and he's, like, already got a torch lit and is putting it on their powder keg.
Only after they give us the horse and carriage to transport this nonsense, because I am not carrying urns full of ooze for miles and miles and miles. That's what I pay people for.
Miles and miles and miles.
All right, well, it's morning. We're going to scam them out of breakfast, and then we're going to, in 6 hours, we'll be at Geltoni's for dinner. For that authentic Italian deep dish pizza.
The priest does offer you, if you wish, to come pray at any of the deities, if you like.
Flynn needs to be here for this shit too. One of you smart fuckers needs to be reading the Book of Ibon.
We can read that on our brand new carriage once they give it to us, because he owes us
go back
one.
and read, look at the read book rules. They're not too dissimilar from Call of Cthulhu, but they are. It's extensive. Like, it takes a long time to read stuff.
We've got time.
To be fair, though, I imagine all magic books are like Finnegan's Wake.
Possibly.
In Latin.
Not,
Translated.
not a bad book, actually.
Not that I
Not a
probably
good
would have given
book,
this
but-
to you earlier. His name is Mihaly.
It's very much of the time.
His name is Mihaly.
Are you sure it's not? Are you sure it's not Maholi?
Yeah.
Mahoney.
I mean, Maholi would make more sense as a priest.
But if you would like to go pray at any of the deities. So Galdoon is there, which is sort of the main deity that you saw in the other city as well. The sun emblem, patron of the sun, sky, and life. He will tell you that there is a statue of Saint Zelan, Saint Julovna, Saint Berthold, and Saint Verothus. Zelan is a Yetivian deity of horses and strategy. Jolovna for tricksters and travelers. Berthold is an Axephane deity for knowledge and protection. And Verothus is Danton, is a Danton deity for soldiers and law. So these are the shrines you can pray at if you wish.
I'll just go sit in the back.
Sure. He'll introduce you to his husband, Botond, who is the assistant priest. You can have a conversation if you wish. Not
I'm
praying.
not a
to them.
character from Star Wars.
I don't know. Botond. Botond.
You're thinking,
Bo-Katan.
You think of Bo-Katan.
Yeah,
Close.
that was the gag. I will sit in the back and sketch whatever the most interesting deity statue is.
Lucas wouldn't know what that is, so just that's fine.
Lucas, the artist, can't immerse me in sketching.
They don't give me images of them, so I don't know what they look like. Sorry. It's probably Galdoon, because it's probably the most intricate. It is sort of the Empire's god.
All right.
Would either of you like to pray at either of the shrines?
Do I get anything out of it?
Probably. I think
Peace
that's
of
what
mind.
I think that's what he's hinting at. Nothing
Yeah.
of them sounded exciting to me.
I'll go to the Axephane one.
St. Berthold?
Yeah.
Sure.
Whichever
you-
one's the knowledge one, I'll go to that, I guess.
It's the same one. Both of you then receive a boon for an Arcana or Yog-Sothothery check, which would be an advantage roll.
You said Arcana?
Arcana or Yog-Sothothery, whichever you wish to.
I don't have any of your demon knowledge.
So, like, you don't have to make the roll right now. It's in the future when
Oh.
you make an Arcana or Yog-Sothothery check, you get
Oh.
you get an advantage roll on it.
Okay.
That's the boon.
Cool.
Got a magic serpent paintbrush at some point, apparently.
Yeah, it's dry now, but yeah. Yeah.
Still use it on this sketch.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wash the paint out of it. That was actually kind of a cool little thing that you didn't use, so it doesn't really matter anymore. Basically, I can tell you about it now because it's kind of fun. You could have actually used it as a weapon, and it would have done poison damage. The paint was infused with their venom because it was a snake creature. So it was kind of cool.
I'm just collecting a lot of paint stuff, making some sketches.
Yeah, no, you're
Paint and watercolors.
You're an artiste.
Well, we got 4 urns of ink-like substance you can use outside.
Truth. After a few hours, the coach will approach the village. Few individuals will get off. They kind of swap a few small pieces of cargo here and there. Kind of looks down at you and says, "Where are you headed?"
So they want us to leave the urns with them?
No, you can take them with you. He's just asking you where you want to go.
Why would we need to ask this guy to go anywhere if we have a wagon of our own? We can go wherever we want.
Where do you want to go? You're not taking their wagon. You're using the coach. That's the option. These are poor people. They have one wagon to the entire village. They're not going to let you take it.
Why not? I asked nicely.
Sure.
He's holding his gun up.
And
I ask nicely.
And they let you stay in their village.
They're not going to let us.
Not that it did any good.
How many children would you have to kill? Get on the coach and go to Gel Tony's and tell them we want a big pizza pie.
That village elder better give us a voucher or something for a free one, because
You get a coupon for Geltoni's.
no, a
It's only
voucher.
good through Tuesday.
We are getting a full-on voucher for a free pizza, or else this village is going down.
You read the book.
I can read the book.
Good. I look forward to seeing how it goes. We have the Book of Ibon. Do we have another book?
Wait a second? Do I need
No, that's the only book you found.
Thothery or whatever that is to read this book, or do
No,
I?
you don't need Yogg-Sothothery. You just need time.
Well, then hopefully I don't go completely mad, because that seems like that'd be a very.
I'm going terrible.
That seems like
How
a
many more
recipe for
Queen references
disaster.
Can we throw in this show?
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Delightfully mad. That was a Formless Spawn, by the way.
Flash.
There's only one.
All the best movies had an entire Queen soundtrack.
I'll acquiesce to your comment.
I really want to go watch that now. I'm going to go get hammered in the backyard watching
Club Lane.
Flash Gordon
What the fuck?
with a fire on the, whatever that size screen is. My 20-foot screen or whatever it is. I need some fucking speakers, though.
The Dread Trucker.
Dum 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 dum.
That does boost the experience. So we eventually gave up and got on the carriage. So what are you looking at?
He's looking for you to read the book of Ibon.
I can appreciate that. Do I need to do any checks or just time?
You'll have to do checks. You will have to do checks.
Against what?
That's what I am confirming. Just see.
I would
Comprehending the
hope
nuances
so.
of one of these texts is a challenging process of research that uses the following rules. Every Mythos book has an ability check DC, which represents the intricacy or confusing nature of the book's contents, and a save DC, which reflects the dangers of investigating the topics of the books for the mortal mind. To research a specific topic or question within a book, you must succeed on an ability check using one of the skills or tools listed in the book's entry. Each book also has a minimum DC for ability checks using that book. If an ability check is to learn or recall information with a higher DC, use the higher DC. Attempting an ability check to research a text requires an uninterrupted 8-hour period of research,
I don't think we got time.
which can't be made with a passive check. Each 8-hour period of research on the same question grants a cumulative +1 bonus to the ability check. If you stop researching a given topic in the same book for 30 days or more, you lose any relevant bonuses gained for researching in that book thus far. One additional character can use the help action to assist a primary researcher if both characters have their own copies of the text, or another text in the same topic. The helper must assist for 8 hours to grant primary researcher advantage. You guys don't have that. You only have one copy. Succeeding in an ability check to research reveals facts as normal for a successful ability check. This information might be incomplete or misleading, or simply reveal this book lacks the information that another book has.
That's how they get you to buy the sequel.
But another book has it, as appropriate for the topic and the text in question. For every 5 points by which an ability check exceeds the DC, further details on the topic, if any, are revealed. If the researcher rolls a 20 on the D20 for an ability check, an additional relevant fact is revealed. Conversely, if the researcher rolls a 1 on the D20 for an ability check, the check is automatically a failure. And any dread resulting from that research check increases by 1 level. If the researcher's saving throws fails, see below. Risks of Mythos research. Every research check made with one or more Mythos books exposes the reader and anyone providing aid to concepts unhealthy for mortal minds to contemplate. Regardless of whether the ability check succeeds, each reader must make a saving throw against dread. The save DC of this dread is either equal to the text listed DC or as normal for a disturbing discovery relevant to the topic being researched, whichever is higher. Because disturbing material permeates each text, no topic can be researched that avoids this risk, except in very unusual circumstances, entirely at the GM's discretion. The dread from this research lasts until the character finishes 2 long rests without gaining dread in between the normal duration for the disturbing discovery, whichever is longer. Non-combat experience. Researching one of these books can provide useful experience for characters, and the GM is encouraged to award experience points, which we're not doing in this particular thing, so it doesn't matter, whether the characters acquire dread, insanity, or resist it.
I will also take bonuses to stats in place of experience.
Right. So you guys are on a 23-mile ride to Geltoni's.
And if the cart you said goes about 3.5 to 4 miles per hour, that'll give us at least 6 hours.
Right, but you need 8 hours.
And I'll just keep
Completely uninterrupted thing.
I'll just sit in the parking lot until they find us a place to sleep. I don't mind.
Tell them make sure the trip takes 8 hours.
Yeah. If bandits decide to attack the cart, these guys will take care of it, and I'll just keep reading. It'll work itself out. I have faith in them killing things. They haven't let me down so far. The only one who has is dead. completely separate from my expectations. What am I rolling on?
Arcana, History, or Yogg-Sothothery. The ability check is pretty high.
Would I be able to use my boon?
Yeah. That's what it's for. So it gives you advantage.
Get booned.
Might as well. I'll roll on Arcana then. 18 plus 25 without the boon.
That is a success.
So I didn't have to use the boon. Yay.
Correct.
So it succeeded. Hooray. What's it do to me? Because I know that's this kind of game. What's it do to me? You succeed, something bad happens. You fail, something worse happens.
So what you find is this book contains formulas, which are that other type of spell, and a handful of other just spells that you'd never heard of before.
Do I get any?
You'd have to take the time to learn spells.
Well, apparently I'm using 8 hours to read. Does that count? Or is that separate?
This is called Cthulhu. 8 hours just allowed you to
comprehend what you're reading.
Comprehend the index and the chapters.
So to learn the spells, I'll have to take extra time some other place.
Right.
Yep.
At least I have a month to do that.
It's written by the I might pronounce this wrong. Antediluvian wizard Ibon. It's one of the strangest and rarest books of the mythos, apparently. Contains accounts of the many deeds and events of Ibon's life, as well as those of his contemporaries in ancient Hyperborea, but also recounts his oft fearsome and compelling prophecies. He traveled distant worlds, dealt with Tsathoggua face to face, and wielded powers so impressive that they lingered in lore and occult tales for tens of thousands of years. But you see formulas for there's a formula for Bind Byakhee, Contact Formless Spawn, Elder Sign, and Lure Byakhee.
So do I get those?
You don't get them. You have to learn them. But you see that you comprehend that that's what's in this book.
Those are some sweet fucking titty sprinkle spells.
I will
Write that list down again.
We'll have to go to formulas because it takes time to learn formulas.
Just shut up and tell us what the spells are, Lucas.
The book also contains the following spells: Cursed Slumber, Lethargy of Tsathoggua, Sign of Ibon, Transport to Yondo, and Voorish Sign.
I might need to have a photo of those later so I can write them all
If
down.
one of these spells is on your class list, you can learn that spell in place of one of your spells known at the same or higher level, exceeding in Intelligence Arcana check to research a new spell.
This is well worth it because there's some cool shit in there.
If you have the Mystic Arcanum feature, which I don't think you do.
No, I do not. But I'm sure I can get it at some point.
You can lose 1 9th level Mystic Arcana. You're never going to get there. You might eventually. You can lose 1 9th one 9th level Mystic Arcanum spell to gain Cursed Slumber in its place by succeeding an Intelligence Arcana check to research the new spell. So basically, for all of these, you're going to have to always succeed in this seemingly high DC that you did succeed on. It is over 20, but you'd manage to succeed on it just to comprehend the book. So that's what's in the book.
So those are things I can learn if I succeed again.
It will take time. I will have to go to formulas and see how long it takes to learn a formula.
Well,
we would like the list.
It is time. Oh, do you want the list again?
Yes, because you read through them so quickly. I was listening for a few key ones, and you hit on a couple.
How
of
about
really
you
cool ones.
photograph the list and put it in the chat so we can review that later?
That's what I was going to do, and now I don't see my phone. It's probably under the book.
Where'd you hide it? Is it in your pocket?
Nope.
Are you sitting on it? Because I will touch base with my cohorts here and figure out which one we want me to learn later.
Well, I'm not touching your base.
I appreciate that.
All right, I don't know if you want me to cheat or not, but there's like 4 solid ones on that list.
None of you would have any idea what any of these things do.
I don't know that that's
Tell me what
accurate.
I know.
Well, I can always learn them later.
I'm a Mythos survivor.
He's not going to give up.
Oh, boy. Learning spells exclusive as formulas. Formula spell can be learned exclusively as a formula. Learning it this way doesn't require the character's cast list or even the pack magic spell creature. Using this way, a spell can't be cast. Basically, it's going to be used as a ritual. It doesn't need to be scribed into a spell book. It doesn't count against any limited number of spells. So basically, it's a free spell without costing you a line in your spell book or spell count. Learning the spell exclusively as a formula requires a variable amount of time depending on how it is learned. The formula is learned from hidden clues or from independent research into alien sciences. The process takes 10 days per level of the spell. Learning from detailed instructions, as included in any Mythos tomes, takes 4 hours per level of the spell. In either case, the researcher must succeed at one of the formula's ability checks, researcher's choice of which. Failing the check means the secrets of the formula elude the researcher's understanding, though the researcher can try again. So it's going to take a very long time and a lot of checks to learn just one spell out of this list.
You said 4 hours from the book for each level of the spell.
The process takes 10 days per level of the spell.
But if you keep reading, it said if it's from a Mythos book, there's a different timetable.
Oh, sorry.
Correct.
Yeah, learning from a detailed instructions.
You're right.
This does not give you detailed Well, I guess it would.
It's a
I guess it
Mythos
would.
tome.
Yeah, I guess
It
would.
literally
He's learning
said
the spells of Ibon from the
So
book of
4
Ibon.
It's 4 hours per level of the spell. So it depends on what spell you're trying to learn.
so.
In which case, I will have to give you the level, and it will take you that amount of time, and you have to succeed
Or try
every 4
again.
hours for every level. If you fail once, you start over.
Well, yeah, that's what you said. It's at every level. It's 4 hours. So if you keep on
like,
going, then
what was one of those
researcher
spells?
must succeed.
What was one of
He
those
doesn't
spells?
take it at every level.
What was one of those spells?
Bind Biaki, I think.
Yeah, it's a 5th level spell.
So I would just need to take 20 hours to learn it.
And succeed 20 times in a row.
Five.
No.
Five times.
Sorry, 5 times.
No,
in a row.
also not. Also incorrect.
Also incorrect.
It literally says in either case, the researcher must succeed at one of the formula's ability checks.
So each level I would have to check
Every
again.
4 hours.
So at each level would be 4 hours. I would need to succeed that check or have to do that
4
check
hours
over.
per level.
You're reading it correctly. I'm saying at each level I would need to do a check. And if I go to the next level, I would need to do that check. I do not have to succeed sequentially,
Okay.
but to move to the next level, I have to succeed at that level's check. So, for example, since you said that was a 5th level spell, I would need to succeed a check for 4 hours, do the next check for 4 hours, the next check, the next check, the next check. I don't have to do them and succeed each time, but I would lose 4 hours for each one I fail, so the time would take longer. So to get the 5th level spell, I would need 20 hours minimum. Longer if I fail sequential checks. So we just need a lot of time, and I need to be reading this book a lot, apparently,
Yeah.
to get some of those spells to make them into the formulas.
Well, it's a good thing we have at least an 8-hour trip for our first leg. So
Well, I got that part, and that's where we learned the spells, and now we're at the town, I guess you said? We're at the town now, so for the next leg, I'll just be reading another chunk of the Book of Ibon after we do whatever we're doing here.
Yeah, you guys reached Chiltoni. It is
Pizza time.
it's pizza time.
Comedy is 90% timing.
wise men always say, never pay full price for late pizza.
Yeah, well, he did deliver it to drainage, so he got what he got.
So this is just a village, so it doesn't have the accommodations that a town would have, but it does have a way station. You can get a mug of ale, you can get some food, you can get you can send a messenger out if for some reason you needed to. These are the options that are in this area.
Do they have a blacksmith or an alchemist?
No, that would be more in a town. This is just a village. Basically, it's farmland
Damn.
with a way station where they kind of onload and offload cargo and people and then continue on their journey.
These guys are useless to me.
Where's my pizza?
I want to send a messenger out.
Where to?
I don't care, just send them out.
Fuck off.
Your town has one less messenger.
He just runs up on you right when you're about to fight a dragon. And you're like, motherfucker.
So essentially with the formula, I think what they're trying to do is make ritual magic more ritualistic.
And also have much more dire consequences. Whether failed or succeeded, there are usually consequences to it. But yeah, it's a much more detailed ritual for sure. But more than one person can aid within it as well. Like a group of people can do one ritual.
I could always use another minion.
I would presume that from the looks of it, from what I could tell, you spend the hours needed on the spell. You make one of several checks. You now learn that spell, but now you know you have to do 3 separate checks. You have to get 3 successes on several different types of checks, and they're very odd and spell specific, so I won't look at them specifically. But one of the spells that you have on that list, you have to like make a wisdom check of X, and then you have to play a woodwind instrument check of X, and then you have to do something else check of X.
So it's really up to you if you want to take the time then to learn the rituals.
Well, what I would argue is he has to make an ability check to learn it. So if he spends 20 hours reading it, we say, okay, here's kind of what it does, and here are the 3 checks. And then he makes one of those 3 checks to learn the formula.
Right.
But I don't think he has to make 5 checks.
No, I think you're correct.
check.
I think it is one check.
Because
but it is some you're correct. Some spells are multiple checks to succeed in the ritual.
It says everything takes 3 successes or 3 failures.
Which some
So you
can
have up
be
to
aided.
6.
Some can be aided on to succeed.
Yeah, you have secondary casters.
Right.
So I could play the woodwind instrument, he could make the wisdom save, and you could jerk off the horse or whatever, and we could make the spell work.
That's the important part.
I think I'll have the DM jerk off the horse. He's been a bit of a pain in the
It's a
ass
spell
today.
called Come and Go.
Anyway.
Mr. Hands.
If there's anything else you'd like to do in this village, otherwise.
Well, you said there was nothing to do here.
No, it's just a village. It's a stop off. I mean, like you guys could rest here. You don't have. They can basically put you in a hayloft. That's the best they can do. But you can rest here if you'd like.
Someone has a home here, and we're taking it.
At this point, you've taken a long rest by riding in the coach, so you can get your health points back. But it has been 8 hours. My random encounter roll was trash, so nothing happened. This leg, at least.
You're a random encounter.
Where would you like to go from here?
The next village.
I mean, we could rest for the evening if you wanted to look at the book some more.
It's coming up on nighttime?
I mean, I assume we
it?
left in the day. We had to wait a couple hours. It took 6 hours to get here.
probably
Like
evening.
it's nighttime.
Yeah, for sure, evening. It's 4:30. It's dinner time.
I can read more of the book.
I mean, because quite literally, if you have to know the level of the spells, theoretically, if you spend the evening working on it, it was what, 4 hours per level? Is there a level 1?
Is there a level
There
1
are
spell?
level 1 spells.
Well, I know, but are any of the spells? Unless you want me to seriously metagame and start looking everything up, Lucas, which I can do. You're in the wrong book.
Sorry, I'm answering texts at the same time.
I'll just make a little tab of any of the spells I'm picking up from the Book of Ivon for later.
Because it's Bind Byakhee, which I'm sure is high. Contact Formless Spawn may be low. Elder Sign, either way. Lure Byakhee is probably easier than Bind. Most of the time.
Elder Sign is lower. Bind Byakhee, we already said is 5th. What were the others?
Contact Formless Spawn.
Why would I want to do that?
You probably like learn shit.
Is the same as Elder Sign.
Well, which is
Level 3.
okay. So those are all level 3. Lure Byakhee.
Lure Byakhee is also level 3.
Cursed Slumber.
Is that one of the formulas or one of the spells?
I think it's a spell.
There's a difference between the formulas and the spells.
This book contains the following spells.
Yeah, I'm only looking at the formulas.
Oh, so he can only learn the formulas.
Right. Well,
So-
I mean, yeah, because he's not a wizard. He can't put a spell into a spell book.
I don't know.
I think you
I
can
have
learn
access to spells.
Right.
I have a lot of spells.
That might be in the DMG to learn a new spell, but if it's not something that's on a spell list you have access to, you won't be able to learn
You
it.
don't know what his spell list is because it's in there.
That's fair, and it does tell the list. Sorry, what was it called?
Well, what's your...
I have Bard and Cleric, and I have the spell class list.
I know, but I don't know what his class is.
What's your class?
I'm Artificer.
No, Artificer ain't gonna be fun.
That doesn't help. That's not going to be in here at all. What is Artificer based off of?
Artificer.
I'm checking to see exactly.
You learn no spells. You can learn formulas.
Nah, you're not gonna.
If it's not based off of somebody else's list, then you're not going to learn it.
Bard, Cleric, Druid, Paladin, Ranger, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard.
Everybody's spells are my spells. Goodness. Making things hard on me.
You probably have a select spell list, I would guess. I don't imagine that you have. Yeah, you have your own spell list.
Such a pain.
Yeah, that's how it all works. So you can't learn any of those spells. Although there are cleric spells, Troy.
That's nice.
There are cleric spells. I mean, there are spells for every
Paladin
class
spells,
except for
I'm not a
Artificer.
cleric, so
Are you Paladin?
He's a paladin.
from the very beginning.
Still a paladin.
There are Paladin spells. I just don't know if any of these are on your list. I doubt it.
Nope.
There are not very many.
The answer is no.
There are literally 3.
Looks like I might need to take a warlock level or a wizard level.
I mean, you can multi-class however the fuck you want. But one level of warlock, you only have access to probably first level spells. So if it's a higher level than that, you're going to have to continue to build warlock.
Warlock would give you access to one of the spells.
Well, there you go. Is it a
Lethargy
good
of Sathagwa, which I think I used against you once, and it wasn't that useful for me at least. But
Transport to Yondo was the one I was looking at.
one?
Warlock, no.
Both under Warlock.
Lethargy of Sathagwa and Mist of Relier is a first level spell on Warlock spell.
I'm looking at how the build goes farther up.
Oh, you're looking way out. I got you.
Yeah, that's the whole point of like.
But yeah,
It's
but what I'm
basically
saying, one level of Warlock isn't going to get him that spell.
No. So essentially, you have some thirds and some fifths you can learn as formulas. So
Yeah.
you're not going to spend 12 hours overnight doing that.
No.
So unless he's going to let you do, which it doesn't seem like he's going to, a few hours tonight and then travel time tomorrow.
Well, if it's a multi-level thing, I can spend 4 hours tonight on one level and then do some more labor. I mean, don't see why that would be a problem.
What was it doing? It wasn't in here.
Depending on which formula would be most useful to us.
I mean, I know which one would be, but at least have a good idea.
Well,
So you said
wait on me.
Elder Sign, Contact Formless Spawn, and Lure Byakhee are all thirds, and Bind Byakhee is fifth, or were there 2 5s and 2 3s?
No, that is correct. Bind Byakhee is the only 5th.
Okay, so Contact Formless Spawn, Elder Sign.
The other 5th level, Bind Byakhee, Bride of Sathala, or Call of Cthulhu.
So essentially, for 12 hours, it's Contact Formless Spawn, Elder Sign, or Lure Byakhee.
Which one's least likely to kill me?
Well, one is contacting a Formless Spawn, and the other one is bringing a Byakhee to you.
I think I'll put those to the side and maybe do Elder Sign?
I would
Hang
say
on. Well, shit. Yeah, you're right.
it's the word contact and the word lure.
I was reading Bind.
Yeah. No. There's a reason why those are two separate spells.
Yeah, no, binding is basically commanding one. that
I
already
will-
exists.
I am aware.
I'll wait to do lure until I can do bind. So for the moment, I'm just dipping my toes into this pit of madness, and I would like to know what's least likely to take my foot off.
Elder sign.
Elder sign. Then I will start studying up on Elder sign.
Yeah, the failures on that one are levels of exhaustion, which aren't great, but are probably the least worst thing so far.
So, I guess we want to go. So, like Troy pointed out, that the overland route is everything on this red road. Are all of these caravan accessible?
Caravan accessible, or people on foot probably following the route. Yeah.
Well, but the reason why I'm asking if there's a caravan is because I don't want to walk on foot.
It's hard to read and
Yeah,
walk
you're
at
in
the
a
same
coach.
time.
Right, but does the coach go wherever we want it to go?
Down the red roads.
That.
So the answer to your question,
Yep.
it is accessible by what we're using.
Yes.
So yes, theoretically, I think Troy is actually accurate. It's probably better to cut right through the middle than to go down the river, because the river's not going to be any faster. So we should, after spending the night in Geltanis, we should then go to Tipukar. And maybe stay for a few days.
What stat am I studying on for Elder Sign? Since I know I need to check.
It's the same as the book, so it was
Arcana.
If Arcana was your best, you can use that.
Well, he just needs to make one of the checks for Elder Sign.
But it's after, what was it? 12 hours.
Yeah, you gotta
it was
set it
12
for 12
hours of
hours
reading.
Oh, okay. Then I'll start now and read more on the road.
12 uninterrupted hours, or 12 hours? Because the book itself was uninterrupted. I don't think the spell was
It
uninterrupted.
said 4 hours per level of the spell.
It was just 12 total. It didn't say whether or not it could not be interrupted.
There
The
we go.
book itself, to comprehend, had to be uninterrupted.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Let's roll with it. So read a little bit last night. Good night reading.
because it's
very
26.
soothing.
It's 26 miles to Tipukar, so that's like 6 hours.
Plenty of time.
As you guys make your way, I guess, southwest to Tipukar.
Mm-hmm. Random encounter.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but kind of luckily one of the not so
Is it
bad
the?
ones. Oh, here it is.
Oh man, I want to make.
You guys come across a halfling caravan.
Is that like a Red Rider?
Basically, it's a caravan of halflings who are stuck in the road and are actually asking for some help. They're one of their wheels is broken. They need some help getting the new wheel on.
Do they have breakfast?
Second breakfast.
Good. Hope they share.
I just go over and lift the thing up.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, you help them get their wagon back together.
Nah, I just flip the shit out of the road and keep our caravan moving.
I just yeet that fucker.
If it lands up right side up, great for them. If not, sucks.
They do have goods if you're interested in anything, and they're willing to purchase things from you as well, as they are merchants. Anything you wish to sell is half market price. Anything you wish to buy is 75% market price. You get 25% off.
So, what do they have in the ways of black powder ingredients and iron?
That's probably a simple material to acquire. So I imagine you could purchase some of that.
I will buy up as much as you let me.
It's not in front of me. You'd have to look up the price on that and do 75% of that price and just dock it from your thing. I don't know if that's a DMG thing or if that's a component list in the player's handbook.
No, I don't like playing with components.
Yeah, but he's trying to do right by making his thing, so I appreciate it. They've got ponies. They've got...
Give me time and I'll give you the numbers.
One of them pulls out a sling. It says, very nice sling. We have ointments here. We have... you ever want to go invisible? And he pulls out a little vial and it's got some dust in it. 400 gold. He shakes it. They only have a handful of things that are like cool shit. Otherwise, it's standard guts.
How many halflings are there?
Quite a few, actually.
I've never heard of invisible fairy dust.
It says it's a band of halflings. It's a caravan, so it's multiple. It's multiple carriages, but one of which
It's
you
what,
had to
two
help.
guitarists, a lead singer, a drummer.
It's 3d8 commoners, 1d6 guards, two.
Bands.
Yeah, so like
Some bands are
it's
just two
quite
pieces.
a few people.
Just the white stripes of caravan of
The white stripes
halflings.
were only 2 people, so no.
You could roll and end up with 2.
It's 3d8, so it's going to be at least 3. Plus 1d6 guards,
Who taught him math?
and then 3 other individuals. So
So it's the Arcade Fire of
it's the
bands.
arcade fire. It's you're closer to the Slipknot level of people. But yeah, they'll try to sell you things as well as buy things from you if you want to make money off of shit. You
Brian
don't no longer
Seltzer
need.
Orchestra of Caravans.
Setzer.
No, this is Brian Seltzer.
All right, Gel Tonys.
Cops of trees.
Fizzy drinks.
I mean, Seltzer just sounds better. Who doesn't want to go see somebody who's playing swing music who calls himself Brian Seltzer?
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, as long as they're handing them out, I'll go to it.
It sounds like God, what was the guy name? Oh, Richard Cheese.
Cheese,
you know?
yeah.
If you guys don't want to buy anything, you're fine. You can move on.
Nope. Can't think of anything that I would like to do. They didn't have any magical items that would help us on our quest.
He tried to sell you dust that could make you go invisible.
Oh. See, I just thought you were being an idiot.
No, he literally had a thing of dust.
You said a vial of dust.
Yeah, he said it will help you go invisible.
That's why I said I've never heard of invisible fairy dust before.
Yeah, no, but I just thought Lucas was being dumb about a glittery potion.
No.
Potion of invisibility, I don't give a fuck about. Powder of Ibn Ghazi, I do kind of care about, but that's okay.
Well, that's not what we're calling it. We're calling it dust of disappearance.
All right.
That's what he will tell you it is. But if you have no interest, no problem.
What?
400 gold.
What? Dust of Benghazi? What?
400 gold for that vial. 600 for some restorative ointments. 500 for a nice sling. You want a nice sling? Anybody need a nice sling?
No.
Any need of a pony? 35 gold.
A pony?
A pony. It's like a pack mule, basically.
So full of shit.
But you would use it as a pack mule. You can't ride it.
Game is. When did we use that? That's come up before. Powder of Ibn or Ibn Ghazi. Yeah. You sprinkle it on you, it makes you invisible. That's been used. One of the Call of Cthulhu games. Excuse me. Dust of disappearance.
That's what they're calling it in this game. Sorry.
No, there's literally a spell. I just saw it on the list called Powder of Ibn Ghazi. Maybe it was a gag. There was something we played where we fuck, what was it? I know that we brought that up before.
Anyway, are we continuing on? You're not buying any dust of disappearance? Do you want to move on?
Not if you're gonna call it Dust of Disappearance.
That's what it's fucking called.
Okay, so if I calculate that out, it should come to about 30 gold for everything I need.
That's fine. Just knock 30 gold off of your total gold.
Yeah, okay.
You got your shit.
Off of our millions of gold that we have.
No, you guys have way too much gold.
Yeah, I'll just knock that off of that.
There are people that should have paid you that I haven't paid you because it's useless.
The fairy dust is you got only one vial of that. It's one time use.
It's got 4 of them, one time use each. It's 400 gold apiece.
Buy 3 of them.
okay. I don't know how much money we have.
Give me a nice.
We've got
You got buku gold.
Yeah.
You could also give them a gem or something.
knock another 1,200 off. We got.
You have our list. You have our gold listed.
I don't have a gold list.
That might be in the moleskin. So just make sure you note it down and tell Tell Troy. Tell
Flynn.
Tell Flynn when he gets back.
I mean, I actually, technically.
There's well more than 1,200 gold in your backpack. It's fine.
All right, so that should give us enough to make about 12 grenades.
Nice.
All things told.
It's one of those video games that's got like a level. You can only have 6. That's it.
Then I will give out the other 6 between these guys.
I'm giving you shit.
We will all have at least 3 grenades.
I hate it when there's a cap on shit.
Yeah, although finding ways around that cap is a lot of fun. It's like, oh, wait, if I upgrade this particular tree, I can
only
carry...
make 3 at a time or have 3 at a time?
Oh, no, he's just blowing me shit.
Oh.
I made 12 because that's all
cap.
Because I'm sure that's about all they had on them, so I made 12 grenades with what I bought.
I know, sometimes I appreciate that for, like, the Resident Evils where you have...
I guess.
A case that you fit your shit into,
I like it.
So,
All right, so you got 3 vials of dust of disappearance then? Is that correct?
And that's what he said. You said 400 apiece, 1,200.
400 apiece. Yep. All right.
Because math works. Unless it's imaginary.
As you continue down to Tippokar.
It should be another 6 hours total travel.
Yeah.
Guess I'll be reading.
The caravan suddenly, not the caravan, sorry, the coach suddenly just like rushes to a halt.
I'm reading here.
That's the opposite. Rushes means speed.
Thank you. It stops, skids, and the
docks.
The docks. The driver kind of bangs on the side and says, guys. And if you poke your heads out, you will see that a band of serpent folk are headed toward you.
We're not getting paid for this.
Thank you all for listening. The Big Sleep was written by Sandy Petersen and Jonah Baumgars. Music by Ian Shannon. You can find us online at rancorsbrothel.com or join in the conversation on Facebook at Fans of the Rancor's Brothel.